Recording in progress.
Good evening. Welcome to episode 136. As always, we'll start with our gratitude attitude. So, if you would please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax your body. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, let all your stress melt away. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, completely let yourself go like a rag doll. Now, think of one thing that you're thankful for that happened in the past week. Once you identified that, think about why you're thankful. Now, let's set it free. If you're by yourself, say it out loud what you're thankful for and why. If you're with someone, tell it to each other. All right. So, last week we started to discuss one chapter from my upcoming book every week, The Serenity Blueprint. And last week we talked about how happiness is an inside job. And after the discussion during Q&A, the topic of comparing with others came about. So today we're going to discuss chapter about comparing with others. We find often we find ourselves comparing with others, right? It's very normal. Deep down though, we know it's not worth it, but we end up doing it anyway. As Teddy Roosevelt once said, comparison is a thief of joy. So let's explore why we compare ourselves with others. and how to stop doing it. Let's first look at why we compare ourselves. Human beings have been comparing themselves since the beginning of time. It kind of creates a baseline. However, if you notice, we tend to compare ourselves with people we think are in the same social circle as we are. It's quite interesting. I never met anybody who compares themselves with Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. It's always their friends and their neighbors. Our brain is hardwired in certain ways, which triggers comparison. And this thing happens within fraction of a second, right? You don't even know it happened. So to research this topic, I ended up talking with a psychologist friend of mine. And he had something interesting to say. He believed that comparison comes from an inherent sense of inadequacy. Deep down, you feel that you are not enough. This sense of inadequacy is usually rooted in some incident in your early childhood. If you really want to figure out next time your comparison anxiety triggers, watch your thoughts and see what comes up. Often these thoughts have no basis in truth. There's just something we made up. It's been so long that they become our truth. And I'm sure all of you know, comparison is not healthy. It can make us anxious, puts us in a negative loop. Once you get into a habit of anxious living, it also affects our relationships. It affects our closest relationship with our loved ones. And also relationship with the people who you compare yourself with. Eventually, you'll begin to resent these people. So now that we know where comparison comes from and what negative effect it can have, let's look at how best to stop comparing ourselves with others. This is the voice within your head. Contrary to what you may have heard, according to my friend, it's good to listen to these voices. Once you learn to listen to them, you will know your inner critic. That is the voice that is making you miserable. The next thing to realize is that when you compare yourself with someone else, you're comparing yourself to their best version, if you will. You don't know what goes on in their life. You only know what they're projecting outwardly. Sometimes you only know what you see on their social media feed. Trust me, never believe what you see on social media. If you must compare yourself to your past self. And I really like that. See where you were and how far you come. This realizes, this allows us to realize abundance we already have in our lives. It also allows us to look at our strengths. This is like, most people, they live in the gap, right? Where they are, where they want to be. And there's this gap in between. But instead, if they look back where they were and where they are, now you see progress. And I often say, progress, not perfection. Where you want to be is perfection. So it will hopefully make you take actions that speak to your strength rather than someone else's strengths. Another way to stop comparing yourself with others is something we talk about here every week. Right? We start every live meditation with a gratitude attitude. If you are grateful for what you have and truly practice that, you will not feel need to compare. Gratitude allows us to be joyful, and joyful people tend not to compare themselves with other people. Another way to help in this situation is through contentment. And we talked about this a lot. If you're content with what you have, there is no reason to compare, right? I'm happy where I am in life. If that's the attitude, then, we rejoice in other people's success. I'm happy for you, for what you have. And the last thing to remember money doesn't buy happiness. It never did and never will. One more thing I would say is to stop doing shoulda, coulda, woulda. The past is the past. If you feel that you lost opportunity in the past, stop dwelling on those and look for those opportunities that are in front of you. This is the best way I know how to stop comparing myself with other people. So, hope that makes sense. Today, we will do uh, the deep ocean meditation. So, on the surface of the ocean, there are these waves. And as you go deep, the water is still. So, our mind is like stillness in the deep ocean. And our thoughts are like that waviness. So, we'll go through the meditation. Of course, I'll walk you through the whole process. So, if you're ready, let's begin. Please get into your meditation posture. Back straight, spine upright, shoulders leveled. Gently close your eyes. Keep your mouth just a little bit open, so any stress you may have developed in your jaws will dissipate. Palms in your lap, right over left, thumbs gently touching each other. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, let all your worries go away. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, see your stress melting away. Mm. Mm. Now bring your attention to the sensation of your breath at your nostrils. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. Feel slightly warmer air as you breathe out. Keep your attention on your breathing for about a minute or so. Now bring your attention at your heart. Imagine everything that happened before this moment melts into light and disappears. Things that have not yet happened are not real anyway. It's just this moment. Enjoy the peaceful nature of your root mind at this moment. Let this peaceful moment bring the next peaceful moment. Remember, there is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. Just enjoy. Now, imagine your mind is this deep ocean. There is stillness as you go deep. And your thoughts are like waves on the surface of that ocean. Just like the waves come and they dissipate, the thoughts come, and if we don't pay attention, they go away. So if a thought arises, don't pay any attention. Natural life of a thought is 1/60th of a second if you don't pay attention. So it will dissipate on its own, just like the waves on the surface of the ocean. Keep your focus on stillness of your mind. If a thought arises, don't give it a time of day, and it will dissipate. Keep your focus on the stillness of your mind. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Any questions? Go ahead, Uncle.
No questions. I was
Go ahead, Premal.
just going to make a comment that was a very relevant topic today.
Oh yeah,
Just
how
before
come?
the meeting, just before the meeting, we were having discussion. Ethan
Hmm.
met somebody, picking up Ashwi from a friend's place, right?
Yeah,
A friend of mom of another friend whom we don't know.
right,
She had it's like an acquaintance for even Ashwi. So forget us knowing.
right.
And in 10 minutes, he wanted to know everything Ashwi did in the vacation break, and then told everything her daughter did and how her daughter just spent all her time preparing for exams and this and that. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, so it's just
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's scary what these parents kind
yeah,
of pressure they put on their kids.
yeah. Yep, these high school years. I mean, we
Yeah.
try to teach Ashley every day, like just do you
Yep.
and don't worry about what anybody else is doing.
And 11th grade is tough.
Yeah.
I think
Well, she's
11.
in 10th still, but
Okay, okay.
just, yeah. 11th is probably it's the toughest of all, for sure.
Yeah, because you have all kinds of college pressure and this and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, it's just insane that we don't put value on happiness, as
Yeah.
especially as Indian parents, right?
Yeah. I mean, Ashley was saying the same thing, right? The daughter was cribbing
Right.
that she's made to do all these classes,
Yeah.
and mom's all raving about her. She's making her do classes for national merit scholarship, which is year and a half away, 2 years away.
And
And
if he
I'm like, are
gets,
you?
yes, we don't do classes for this thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what kind of scholar are you if you're going to do classes for? Seriously, but yeah,
That's a good
it-
one. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
yeah. In a high school can, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough for these kids. So, anything you want to add, Uncle?
Two things on the comparison. I do agree that most of the time, can you hear me now? Correct?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
I'm on computer audio. Earlier, I had a
Good.
headphones. I removed it.
Okay.
So I don't know what's wrong with my headset. It gives me a problem. But most of the time, the comparison comes from, as you said very clearly, that it comes from the deficiency in yourself or the things that you couldn't achieve in your life, or sometimes the way in which you see the situation.
Right.
Even though it's not a reality, but that's how you perceive the situation and you try to compare. And most of the time, you become unhappy because you can't achieve that, or you have not achieved,
Yeah.
or you feel that everybody else is happy and you are the only one who is left out.
And I think I agree with you 100%. One thing I would change is that it's not the deficiency in yourself. I think it's a perception of deficiencies. It's all about perception, right? You may be,
I agree. It's a perception of deficiency,
right?
not deficiency itself.
I
I agree. Other thing that I will say that at times probably it could be a healthy comparison also, that when you look at something good or something nice and you would like to change or improve yourself,
That's a
it,
good thing. Yeah. Be like
it's
Mike.
something that you would try to achieve because that leads to a happiness or something better in your life.
Right. Absolutely correct. But unfortunately, most of the time when we compare, we're not comparing from that point of view, right? Because our lenses are all not in focus, right? We're
I
not looking at,
100%
okay,
agree.
this person is content, I want to be like him, or instead we are saying, I want more, I want what he has, or, why can't I have, whatever that may be, right?
I think
XYZ,
that
fill in
is
the gap.
99% of the comparison goes into that category, and
Exactly.
then very few
Yeah.
like nothing like comparing myself. But okay, you are doing something good, meditation,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to compare that. Okay, I can't achieve everything, but at least if I take part every day, every week, half an hour,
Yeah.
at least it gives me some satisfaction or something, a betterment in my life, basically.
Let me emulate that. And that's a perfectly good thing, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, 99% falls in this other category,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it, basically.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
then.
We'll pick it up next week.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.